Let me thank all of you for coming today. I will start by saying Happy New Year to all of you. Let me also accept that we ought to have a meeting from time to time because of the position I'm occupying, so that I will brief you periodically what is happening in the National Assembly, as well as address all the national issues from the perspective of the legislature. But because of how busy the mandate of my office has kept me, I've not been able to make out time to have this engagement. I promise that going forward, we'll have this engagement from time to time. This is because it will enable you to ask relevant questions that has to do with your concerns, as well as I'll hear from the horse's mouth on issues relating to my position as the Deputy Speaker and the representative of Bende, and my position on national issues, state issues, as well as the local government that I'm representing. But having said that, we're starting today. That is the most important thing. And any other day in the future will gradually follow. The question that I've been asked by PU has to do with 2027. This is 2026. And I want to say that, like I've echoed over and over, what we are faced with now is governance. The mandate that the people of Bende gave me, the mandate that the 359 members of the parliament, the House of Rep, gave me as the Deputy Speaker, is to get the job done. And it's quite a wide mandate, one that covers the committee of the whole of the House. You know, the Senate is being held by the Senate President, but in the House, I function in that role. And for many of you who may not understand, that particular position takes care of all the reports from the 200 and something committees of the House. That particular report, that particular position vets all submissions from investigative hearing, oversight reports, and all the bills and motions that passes through the House. It is such an enormous task. So, starting that with the rule of Constitutional Review Committee is cumbersome, and will not allow anybody, when you add the issue of representation of your people, to begin to declare at the moment whether you're declaring for House of Rep or declaring for Senate or declaring for governorship or declaring for president. It's not yet time for that. This is the time for governance. And like you have seen, a lot of people have gone back after Christmas. I am here, engaging with my people in Bende Federal Constituency, understanding their concerns, and finding a way to solve them. There are problems to be solved before talking about the election of 2027. And anything that has to do with what I am going to vie for, because we believe in the supremacy of the party, APC. That is why it's different from other political parties. There is no one man that owns the party. party is owned by all of us. And so when we want to take a decision, we take it holistically. We come together as leaders and we decide what is best for the party, not just what is best for an individual. So I want to repeat again that it is not yet time. And when the time comes, whatever I'm going to buy will be determined by the party and my people. Because the electorates will be the one saying this is where we want you. So for now, can we just focus on fixing a lot of things in the federal constituency and around that state? Because, and the Southeast, because I don't just represent Bende at the moment. I represent Abia State, I represent South, and that is why I have my projects around Southeast. I have my projects around Abia State, not just Bende. With time, I'll take people on a tour to see some of the projects we are doing that you're not even aware of, that it's the federal government that is doing them, even outside Bende. So that is what we are focused, and I'm racing against time to do as much as possible for the people of Bende. Next question.
Yeah. Good day, sir.
Yeah, Your Excellency, my name is Ugochukwu.
I want to thank you for that question. Why was I asking the governor? I was asking him, I'm not asking him anymore. Let it be clear. I was asking the governor to join APC because he was one of us. He was one of us. He was one of those that strengthened this party in this state. And I know, or I knew, that he's joining APC will open more doors for Abia State, whether anybody likes it or not. You can debate it from here to the kingdom come. It's not because if he's in the opposition, he will not have access to the things he's doing. There is collaboration in political movement. There is synergy in political movement. And I felt Abia was isolated when the likes of his brother governors sit down to push for anything that will benefit the Southeast, that the various states will benefit from. I felt that Abia would be left outside the door. And I said it would be good for him to come on board. And moreover, he's my friend. Many people don't know that he was my friend before politics. And he will remain my friend after politics. That's the truth. Governor Alex Oti, beyond all the things you read on social media, knows that my call for him to join APC was born out of sincerity of purpose. If Governor Oti had hearkened to that call, I don't think Abians would be disadvantaged by it. Moreover, what is wrong in a friend asking his friend, come, let's continue from where you start? What is wrong with that? And like you rightly pointed out, the pressure is there from different quarters. You are a possible person to run for this position against your friend. Why are you calling him to come? Because if he comes, you may not have the chance. And the truth remains that I wanted him to come, to take over. And I would support him if he had come. If he had listened to us that time, definitely we would all queue around him. And that would have demystified that assumptions from propagandists who are saying he's running for governor, he's not running for governor. But if he refused to come like he has refused to come, the party will choose somebody to, it is only natural for the party to choose somebody to run for that. We're not going to leave it back. I'm not saying it's going to be me, but I wanted it to be him because he was part of us we built together. That's the truth. So when people go with the narratives that are even blocking from coming into the party, say, no, I've spoken to him privately, send him private messages, urge him to pray about it, because I meant well. And now we cannot extend that invitation forever. He's a man, he knows what he wants, he can take a decision. And I have nothing against whatever decision he has taken. Whatever he sees us do, it's not personal, it's purely politics. So to answer your question, the time I invited him, I wouldn't have minded, him taking charge as the governor, because it's the culture of our party that any governor that comes in takes over. If he comes in today, he takes over. We all support him. That's a fact. So it's nothing personal to him. When I hear people say, I want to stop being from, no, nothing like that. And there's nothing wrong if a political party goes about scouting for membership. If I reach out to him and say, come and be our member, just like I reach out to so many people. In the past, I reached out to Governor T.O.G. I said, come and be our member. He said, Ikuku is already with you people. My wife is already with you people. We kept pushing. Today, he's part of us. Governor Okezie Kalu has not joined us as a member of APC, still in PD, but I'm still reaching out, asking him, come on, this is where I'm extending the thing. I extended the thing to my friend, Governor Alex. At the same time, we are extending to Dick, Tom, and Harry. And I said, come, let's build a formidable platform we can use to be relevant at the center and also impactful at the local level. So that is, I think, to answer your question, it was nothing selfish. So if it was self-centered, I would be one of those blocking him. If it's just, I want to be governor by all means, I want to go and run for governor, I'm not declared. I would have blocked. I said, no, he should not come in. But I'm the one here singing to him, come, let's build together. Come, let's build together. And I think I did what I was supposed to do as a party leader and as a member of National Caucus of the party, member of National Executive Council of the party. We are just told to reach out to all people, and that's what we did. So I hope I answered that question. Thank you. Thank you, sir. It's good to see you again. It's been a while. Good to see you.
I see you too.
I know since 2001 I started this journey.
Yeah.
You've been here. I can still see some of the old faces. Good to see you. Very refreshing to see you again. Yeah. I am not the chairman of Creation of States Committee on Creation of States, but I'm the chairman of Constitutional Review Committee in the House of Representatives. And Creation of States is one of the constitutional provisions. So it falls under the mandate of Constitutional Review. And it's one of the things in the course of our public hearing, our engagement, that the people we represent, the people of Nigeria, are yearning for. And a lot of regions have made proposals before the parliament on what they think should be done with that creation of state. Let's talk about Southeast, because I know it's one of the areas you want to know much about. Before that, over That is something states were proposed. When you say propose, it's not that the parliament has approved. It's just proposal. This is imitation of the public. But something significant happened when we met in Lagos for one of our joint retreats between the two houses, that is the Senate, the House of Representatives, which is one of the ways to get laws made. You work differently as houses, and then you join to review, and then you go back again, and then you come back and review, go back. So one of the last engagement that we had in Lagos, I made a case to the House of Rep Committee and the Senate Committee. A passionate appeal for the sake of equity, for the sake of equality, for the sake of fairness, that the sub-regional government in the geopolitical zone of the Southeast is unequally balanced with that of other geopolitical zones. And it was obvious to everyone that some had 6 states, 7 for Northwest, and just 5 for Southeast. And I said, in the spirit of national cohesion, national unity, and the progress that we preach about as a nation, which are the fundamental things that drive us, that we needed to balance that equation. That it should be our first priority, equalization, equity, and equalization. And the Southeast should be the one benefiting from it. So that when we come apart with others, 666, if there's any other interest, we can consider it. So we had that conversation. And I must commend our people from different geopolitical zones of the country. To be honest, the Northerners, the Southwesterners, and South, all of them came together and said that that was a strong case. That the Nigeria that they want to see is a Nigeria where there is equality, there is balance. And based on that, they voted. In fact, the motion was moved by a senator from the North, asking that this be adopted. That was supported by a member from the Southwest who seconded that motion, and it was a positive motion that was carried. That one more state for Southeast. And so, based on that, subcommittees we have formed both in the Senate and the House to go and fine-tune and come up with one state. And after that, we made and we have gone through it over and over again. I have narrowed down to a state which is known as Anim State. And there is this lobbying from the South, Eagles from the South who are saying, when I mean South, I mean Delta area, who are saying, why not make it, instead of Anim, why don't you make it Animoma, to enable those who are across the Niger on the other side come board to join the new Anim State. So that conversation is ongoing. When we go back, it's one of the things we're going to ratify. But there is an intentional effort to have one more state within the South. And I pray that all the governors will agree, because at the end of the day, it boils down to the governors deciding this is the way we want to go, and the president seeing that it's unity of purpose. If the Igbos really want one extra state, all the stakeholders must come together and agree. If we are in disarray, I don't see the president assenting to that request, even if the parliament as partisan, that you can no longer blame the parliament. Then you have to be revisited in the future. Thank you. The election season, and I agree with anybody who wants things to be pushed forward with the right speed so that it will not be caught up by time. And whether it was the former vice president speaking or ordinary citizen on the street speaking, it is their right to aid their view with regards to what the parliament does. The reason being that the House of Representatives and the Senate remains the people's parliament. So any complaint from any quarter will actually be given good attention. And yes, it is not true that the parliament is deliberately delaying it, especially from the House of Representatives. It was one of the last work I did as the chairman of the committee of the whole before we shut down. We did not close the parliament for the holidays until the Electoral Act issue was attended to. And luckily enough, we spent the whole day, about 2 days, going through it. And the House of Rep have finished our job on the Electoral Act. There might be slight adjustments which we missed. Maybe like section, I think it's section 75, or section 31, thereabout of the Electoral Act. We are hoping that the Senate will look at their own on resumption and capture some of those gaps so that when we meet in the coming weeks for concurrence, we'll be able to fill in the gap and come up with a final document. A lot of jobs have been done, and we are also willing to share some documents with you people on what we have done with the Electoral Act, so that you know in great details how far we have touched it and what we have touched the Electoral Act. So there is speed, but that will be concluded once we resume in the coming days. Thank you. Constituency level. That does not mean that you can ask anything from the federal or state. Feel free to engage. I've been a representative of this federal constituency now for about 6 years. And I can assure everyone in this room that we have documented reports of all our intervention from day one till now. And I'm sure before you leave here, they're going to give you some documents that you can flip through and see the amount of impact we have made in the federal constituency. If you interview the people on the street, they will tell you that comparatively speaking, it has never been like this since the beginning of time. There is no representative in the federal constituency that has achieved 10% of what I have done. I said 10%, and I make bold to say that in terms of rules, we have over 20 rules completed, and we have over 15 ongoing, and more will join. In terms of schools, we have over 32, and completed, we have more than 20 to 25 ongoing, and more will be added. And others like health centers, others like civic centers, and name them, ICT centers are being constructed. At the moment we are doing about 26 of them across the federal constituency. In terms of electricity, we are pushing the solar mini grid. We are the first to build solar mini grid in the federal constituency in the year 2020. That solar mini grid is still serving the community till we build a bigger one just this year that we commissioned. we have been able to link our community to the national grid. Since I built this house in 2002, the house you're staying here, some of you who know me, I've been coming to meetings here, and you are aware I built this house in 2002. From that time till now, I've never used national grid until it was rectified 2 days ago. I've never used NEPA light here, or if you like, PCN. But now we have gotten the community hooked to the Aloji power station. So when there is light in Aba, there will be a light here. And it's not only in this community, we have done for Uzita, and you can go and ask Okezie Kalu, his community has gotten. We have done for part of Uzwagole that was affected. And we are extending it to Alai. We are going to Item, we are going to Ibere, we are going to Itumboza. I was in Itumboza, and yesterday the team gathered here. I saw that they don't have light, and they requested for it. And I invited the team. The team met with 2 people here yesterday, and they have gone to the site. So any moment from now, Itumboza will be hooked to this line. And I want to take that all through the federal constituency. So, in terms of infrastructure, I don't think anybody has beaten our record. Both ecological control, remember, and many back, they used to carry their cups on their head to cross the river because there was no bridge. I came, and it was one of the first motions I moved in 2019 when I got to the house. And the president then was magnanimous to allow a couple of billions, I think was 2.3 billion for the contractors to go do the job. I don't think there is any member in Bende that has brought a project of over 8 billion to there. And that does not mean that we have gotten there. You know, Bende is quite large. Bende is supposed to be 3 local governments. And it is before the parliament now. It's supposed to be Bende North, Bende South, Bende Central. I say so because on one side of Bende, you have Akwa Ibom. We border Akwa Ibom. And on the other side, you border Ebonyi State. It's quite large. You can't travel all through Bende in 2 hours. It's not possible. Or 3 hours, it's not possible. You want to run from Okezie all the way to Dalabo, you can't do it. It's a very large local government. That is why whatever you bring gets swallowed, within it. But we are making effort on Okezie side. We have done a lot there. The last 2 days I commissioned about 6 projects there. And one of the fundamental projects there was linking Abia State to Ebonyi State through a road. And when I went there to see the quality of road down there, I need to visit there. You'll see that people from Enugu, Ebonyi, I saw 20 or 30 vehicles using that road, and I asked them, where are you going? They said, we are going to Calabar. I said, you're passing through here to go to Calabar? They say, yes. They come out from there, they connect, then before you know it, they are in the south side. So we are trying to link the communities within the southeast with one another to increase human traffic, business that comes with business and all the rest of that. So we'll keep making effort. Some of the projects ongoing are major road. Very soon, this road, the road to Maya, which has been used severally to talk about our efficiency or otherwise. It's a federal road that I've tried as much as possible to get the Minister of Works to discuss about it. And he told me it was one of the roads that they want to partner with the state government to do. Initially, I had attracted 10 billion naira for this road from Umaya down to Avia in the last budget. But when I got a letter from the Minister of Works that is one of the rules they designated for the states to do and later claim the money from the federal government, I've been monitoring to see when they are starting. So the 10 billion that we attracted for this road, we have to move it to a new road that I'm building that will connect Item to Boro. We're doing a new road that will connect Item all the way to Boro. And but this year, if within this first quarter nothing happens on this road, I have to use another intervention to start doing it because it's embarrassing for me. I can't be waiting for federal government, Ministry of Works, whatever, on this road. Luckily enough, through FEMA, I've attracted also 1 billion naira from this Cook Fund, which is going to start an intervention on this road. The work we want to do on this road is beyond FEMA. We want to dualize the road, we want to expand the shoulders of the road and then make it look like where the deputy speaker uses, and also where citizens of the federal constituency like Bende can use to access their headquarters. So it's a very important road because this road links Avia, Abuchuku, links into Mpozo, from there to Akwa Ibom. So it's a very important road that must be done. And my people need this road done because it will increase economic activities around this area. So in terms of infrastructure, we are doing well comparatively so, but we need to do more. And I'm not actually adverse to people calling my attention and say, you need to do more. I'm like other leaders. You can tell me I need to do more. That is why you are my constituent. You can say, we need you to do more. It's Oliver Twist. You say, there's nothing like wrong in saying, though we are building houses like up the road, you see, I attracted 250 housing units from the New Hope Housing program. They are building it up the road here. The one that was given to Southeast, I brought it down to Abia State. It's going on. We're building industrial courts in Umaya. And those are some of the things I attracted. We're supposed to also build a place for court of appeal. So there are so many interventions going on, both the ones you know and the ones you don't know. But is it complete? No. We are going to now work hard towards making sure that the issue of electricity, the whole federal constituency is solved, and we have the formula to do that. More rules will, be springing up in the coming days. Just watch out. Before the election, a lot of rules will come out, which have been programmed about 1 or 2 years ago. So rest assured, more infrastructural development will come in here. Thank you. First, I want to thank the innovative mindedness of the president, especially with regards to courageous policies, bold policies. I say so because what the nation needs at the moment, or needed at the time he took over the office, was a courageous, bold, fearless, intentional leader. A leader that was not interested in public applause against national development. A leader who shut his ears to the condemnation of the steps that he knows will take his people. Maybe not to a Dorado, but close to it. Starting from the oil subsidy. He was deliberate about it. He was not sitting on the fence. He said, from now on, it is all well. And many doubted. Yes, we felt the pain. Yes, it was rough. But we have adjusted. And the dividends of that bold, courageous step of the president supposed to be felt at the grassroots. If you see any governor perform today, please give the kudos to Mr. President. If you see any House of Rep member perform today, please give the kudos to Mr. President. If you see any senator perform today, please give the kudos to Mr. President. but more especially the subnationals. The president would have decided, granted the subsidy, will be removed, but not considering that such removal should amount to sending the money to the subnational. That is a particular intervention I want to do with it. And nothing will happen. Remove the subsidy, put the money into a fund, spend it from there. Past administration, especially the president of the country, then President Obasanjo, did the same. And then the states didn't have as much as they are having now. So if anybody tells you that it's performing magic or it's doing any formula, that's no formula. The formula is that a man took a courageous step to save the country from crisis. And so beyond that, look at the equalization of the currency. Look at what is happening within the space of Forex. Now people can make projection. Look at the stability. Yes, we want it to come down to $1. Yeah, that's aspirational. That's ambitious. But now you know that businessmen can make a projection based on the stability of the Forex, and they will meet their target. A man needed to take that decision, and a president who is bold enough was who we needed to take that position. There were backlashes. People who were benefiting from the initial position fought it, but he resisted. So we needed a president that was strong enough to resist those anti-forces. We needed that, and he was able to do that. Today, we are benefiting from it. Now, coming to tax, I don't want to spend time going to other policies that the president has put together. But coming to taxation, and whether or not what is out there is what we pass. By virtue of our laws, it is the National Assembly that prints the Gazette. That law is known as Authentication Act. If you read the Authentication Act, National Assembly Authentication Act, you will find that once bills has progressed to the president and has received the president's assent, and it comes back, it is the duty of the parliament through the office of the clerk of National Assembly to gazette it. And what we pass is what will be in that gazette. So anybody flying any copy outside what we pass is on the frolic of his own. Will never be implemented by the executive. And if it happens, we will question them because we also oversight the laws that we made. So if we don't just make laws and then sit back, so I can guarantee Nigerians who have been worried that I was part of the making of this law, and we know the provisions that we touch, and anything outside that will not be seen as the law that we made. So as we go back, the clerk of the National Assembly, I'm sure, has produced the right copy. Nigerians should assess it as a public document. And the fear that it has been adulterated, there is nothing like that. Because we set up a committee to look into the allegation, and I'm sure when we'll get back, the committee will come with a report. But whatever happens, it is that one that we pass through. Remember, I'm the chairman of the committee of the whole. Every bill passes through me. Every bill passes through me. And I know I have copies of what I pass at the committee of the whole. So if I have copies of what we pass at third reading, so anything outside that is not what Nigerians have voted for. Thank you. Still on this 2027, whether or not if the pressure come from the people, my constituents, whether I will accept. And again, this is beyond my constituent. They call for me to be a governor. It should be a statewide call. So I can't be relying on what my constituents say. For House of Assembly, House of Rep, Senate, the constituent within the federal constituency, the direct district of Abia North can do that. But when it comes to the governorship of a state, I don't think it's the call of my constituency. Like I said, and I'll keep saying, and I know some people will not hear it because they will keep writing. Because they will keep writing. The one that will sell their newspaper. And you know what? I don't. Those who use my name to sell their newspapers or to blog or to, you know, it's what we paid for when we joined politics. You'll be called names. You'll be anything that you'll be called names. You'll be called names. You'll be given so many labels, but they don't define you. So if you're not ready for that, don't join politics. If you're ready for, you wake up in the morning, they tell you, they keep something and say, it's you that did it, even though you don't know anything about it. And everybody outside will believe it. If you're not ready for that, don't join politics. But the truth remains, my political party is supreme. And my political party doesn't take decisions based on emotions or sentiments. They take a well-researched decision. It is the call of the party. If they find me worthy for anything, is there anything in the country I'm not, at this level I am now, I can't run for any position. I can also decide I don't want to run for any position. I can decide I want to go to private life. I can decide I want to progress. So it shouldn't be a do or die. And all ambition doesn't end with being a governor. People should not, micromanage you in a way that the only ambition for me as a politician is just being a governor. No. It doesn't mean that the only way you can make impact is just to be a governor. No. There are other things, and I have the potentials for other things because I prepared myself long before coming into politics. And I have second address. I can fit in for other things, even beyond being a governor. I can also be a governor if that is what my party wants at the moment and the people of Abia want at the moment. But to sound like it is a desperate move where there is no, I look beyond what others are looking at, and I don't want to be caged with what you get. There are some people who finish being governors, they want to be senators. So if it is the ultimate, they finish being governor, they want to be vice president. They finish being governor, they want to be president. So being governor is not the ultimate ambition in the life of any young politician like me. It's not the ultimate. There are so many layers of, opportunities, so I think we should focus on how to make Bende better, Abia better, Nigeria better. The position is just a tool towards getting that thing done for the citizens, not self-serving. Any day I look at the position just to serve myself, then I've lost it. I have no business being in politics if it is not to serve the people. Any day, it's only about serving me. I have no business being there. Some of you have been coming here. This is the same seat you've been sitting on since 2001, 2002. you will come into this house. It's only this flag here that is new. So if it is about self-serving in 6 years, there should be tremendous difference around it. But if you move around the community, you will hear stories about tremendous impact, and that is what political positions should be about, impact. Even when nobody's watching, impact, because it doesn't belong to you. The access you get through your political position is not for you, it's for the people. So at the end, we are going to be judged not by the noise we make on social media or newspapers or television, but by comparative analysis of impact that we made. And that comparative analysis will be with people who are like you. If I'm a House of Rep member, they will compare me against other people. If I'm a governor, they will compare me. If I'm a president, they will compare me. Today, they are comparing the Governor Tinubu, President Tinubu against late President Buhari. They're comparing him against Obasanjo. They will always compare him. He will be compared. How I'm being compared with those who are occupying this office before, both at the deputy speaker level, both as a House of Rep, you must be compared. So when that comparison is done, may we not be found wanting. Forget about what we say to people. But when the comparison is done with regards to commonwealth that you have access by virtue of the position given to you by the people, may we not be found wanting. We can speak well of ourselves, we can make it look like we are saints, we can make it look like we are angels. It doesn't matter. You know what matters? When comparative analysis of your socio-economic impact is measured against your colleagues, I would like to be compared. So everybody in government should be willing to be compared. If you are scored badly, by then the people who praise you, the people who clap for you, will be ashamed. But if you measure well, even when you are not there, like we are measuring governors who come to Abia State now with Mbakwe. Every governor has come that passed through Abia State has always been measured by what Mbakwe did. Every governor that passed through Imo State has been measured by what Mbakwe did. It's the fact. Every governor in the Southeast have always been measured by what Okpara did. It's the fact. You will be measured. I will be measured. Some of you who are aspiring to join politics, just remember, you will be measured. When nobody's there, when the clapping goes down, the scale speaks. When the noise on the internet goes down, the impact will have a voice. How loud will the voice of your impact be? When nobody is watching, ask yourself this question. And it's only when that answer is done with sincerity or purpose that you will know how to guide your steps. And there's always a room. For me, last time I was told to do more, and I'm doing more. I'm trying to do more. So when constituents ask you for more, don't get offended. Just embrace it and move in to do more because they elected you. It's their office, not your office. Thank you. Not abandoned. There's a term that has been going on around Abia State. And I think it's all about propaganda. Last time, we noticed at Ibere, Omola community, they didn't have a sound civic center to take the population of that community to sit and communicate on how to build unity, peace. That's what civic centers do. They are platforms for you to come and engage as brothers, as families, as community to discuss about the development. What we noticed that based on their own needs analysis and submission that they made to us, we went to build in October a civic center. And it was raining and they had undulating platform. The contractor decided to wait for the rain to settle, for the feeling that they need to settle before coming back to site. That project was just 90 days old. Somebody was sent to go and take photographs and video that this project had been abandoned. The blocks were fresh, the iron were fresh. And at night, they went and cut off all the standing iron coming from the foundation to prove that a project that is 90 days old was abandoned. And that particular video was sponsored to go viral. The Deputy Speaker abandoned the project. You can't abandon the project that is 90 days old, that is still ongoing. That is a lifetime of a project. And 90 days is not a lifetime for a project like a big civic center. We should be able to draw the line between lies and political propaganda and vandalization of public property, which is against our laws. When youths are sent to go and make videos, destroy properties, and call it abandoned, it is a very wrong thing that we are leaving behind. So again, the road we started in Umu, it was not abandoned. It is in this administration that we started it. The roads that we are doing in Bende, we face them. Some pass through the stage where yours is at the moment. They have done the first preparation. They are coming back for the second phase. The gutters are there. I don't know whether it will leak to Abreba with what they are doing now, or the second phase will link up to Abreba. But we will want to link Abreba through that access. So please, when they define some of the projects that is still under process to be abandoned, try to ask them, when was this project started? How long was it supposed to last? We don't have any single abandoned project in Bende Federal Constituency, not even one. They are ongoing. And that reminds me, the road going to Uzoakole from Ozitem, and the same thing. The contractors found that one or two portions, about 20 meters, in a 5.5 kilometer road that was last touched in 1981. The road we're talking about is a link road that was done by Mbakwe. And about how many governors have come and gone? 3 or 4 governors have come and gone, and nobody has touched that. I can't be waiting for state government forever. I have to do my own intervention because it's my constituency. Linking two communities that are brothers and sisters, but drive a very long distance to communicate with one another. So instead of allowing Ozitem to use 20-kilometer road before they can meet with Uzoakole, I decided to shorten it with a 5.5 kilometer road, saving them petrol, saving them time, saving them cost, and the risk of being on the road for too long. On that road, somebody was saying, when the contractors have seen the portion that fell, and they call it scarified, they cut it open to fill it. Somebody went there with camera. They took the video. Again, resources was used to make it go viral. And the entire state, and the entire 5.5 kilometers was not in that video, only that portion. And they started talking about that. That is not what governance is all about. Governance is about collaboration. It's about working together. The state and the federal working together for development. That road or those roads I'm building, the state government won't build them again. It has reduced the burden of the state government. So my office should be commended rather than my line. They should actually be showing off that Deputy Speaker is partnering with the state government to develop the state, not the other way around, where they always carry camera to go and look for what they can project and make it go viral. That is not governance. That's antagonism. That is not the spirit of democracy. So your role is not abandoned. Let me also announce that that road has not been finished. The said road that went viral has not been completed. The contractors have not asked me to come and commission it. The agency supervising it has not given certificate of completion. So work is still ongoing. Why should a work that is ongoing be criticized and be made to go viral when the work is not completed? Why don't we wait for them to finish what they have noticed on their own? You are building a bridge, you find out there was an error somewhere. On your own, you cut it open and you want to fill it. And when between the time you cut it open and you want to come and fill it, somebody comes there, take photograph, take video, and say, this is the kind of job they are doing for us. We have to discourage it, especially you people who are in the media. When you see such thing, try to correct it by saying, let's visit the site, let us go through and have a more balanced analysis. For Umu, I was there a few days ago, and to engage with my people. The road from Ameke to Umu, this section will not be over without me doing it. So I promised them that I'm going to do it, and we've already programmed it. But funding from federal government, because the federal government released so much. Some of this intervention, we're looking for money to use to, take care of them. And as they come, we'll begin to make our intention a reality. At the moment, it is a need that appeared on our needs analysis, but to activate it in its forms. So, but I am promising that we use various interventions to make sure we link Bende to Umu. And we'll also, you are aware that we are trying to link Ozitem to Umu through Isebo Ozitem. And we have done that. It's a virgin road. But nobody's talking about it. Nobody's clapping for us. Nobody mentions it. And we are linking Umu from there. And so we should find out time to do it all and go around and see how much I'm helping, and it should be seen as, it should be partnership. It should be, you are doing this area, okay, leave this area for me, I'll do. You are doing this area, that is what I expect to do with the governor and the government of Abia State. Collaboration, synergy, where, Mr. Governor, you are doing 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, allow me to do 4, 5. Okay, Deputy Speaker, can you do 1, 2, 3, 4 in this area? Let me do, so that the resources will be. It's not my money; it's the federal government money. If you destroy it, it's federal government money you're destroying. If you say no to it, you're saying no to federal government. In fact, it has gone into a level here that we want to go and build a health center, and we receive resistance. And they said that the governor said, or the commissioner said, or the local government said that you will not build, you should not build, we should not allow you to come in. Why should a federal government attracted project be denied the people? Why? Is that not pettiness? That is, I will go to Abuja, fight and bring projects for my people, and when I want to build it, you start arresting the people there. You start sending local government chairman. You see deputy chairman of local government insulting the deputy speaker who brought project. It ought not to be. The one I built today, you will not build it tomorrow because you send that money elsewhere, and it's government money. It's not our personal money. So I should push all the projects I've attracted for Abia State now to Anambra State, or push it to Imo State, or push it to Ebonyi State. Is that what we want as a people? As a people? So these are things that have been happening. We are building school, and you see people who come with vehicles of police and say, we don't want you to build here. We want to build this state government school. I've never had it in the years of my representation that. Remember, I was a representative when PDP was in charge of the state. And PDP government never stopped me from building anything in any school. In fact, they clapped for us, they welcomed us. In fact, they called on us. The governor called me, what are you building for me? What are you going to build this year? What are the areas you're going to intervene? It's not a competition. It is dividends of democracy. We should not be struggling to make intervention that will benefit our people. So this is one of the things that we've been experiencing, and I think I should push it out there. I shouldn't be going to police, calling commissioner of police, IG of police because I want to do intervention. It has never happened in this state before. It has never happened. So, okay, you want to record that the deputy speaker did less, so that what will happen? so that you come and do it, or so that the people are denied and they clap for you, and then at the end of the day, people don't have access to hospital. People will die at home. So people who are supposed to have hospital in every 5 kilometers because of WHO requirement, SDGF requirement, every 5 kilometers there should be a hospital. Are you saying that you would deny me building a hospital because I know there's limited resources from the state, and then you deny me building a hospital and people can die at home? And then the students who are sitting on the floor should keep sitting on the floor in some of the local governments, in some of the communities, because you just don't want it to come from deputy speaker. And then the kids, do they know what you're talking about? They get sick while sitting on the floor. I should allow the floor to come and carry the building and it will fall on their head. I should not repair the school. It doesn't make sense. That is not, I've never experienced it like this before. So I am saying that it is important that we collaborate, we work together in synergy. It's government. We will all live here one day. And the more we attract now, the better. I will not be here forever. And no government stays forever. We'll come, we impact, we leave. So the space, and the space is so big enough for everybody to impact. If I'm building road A, you can go to road B. It's still a virgin road. If I'm building school A, there are still so many schools that you can build. But I am also happy to sit with the state government and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we want. This is our infrastructural development plan. Okay, if you want to do X, Y, Z, let it fall into this particular area. I'm ready to do that. My own is collaboration. So it shouldn't be a competition. A House of Rep member should not be seen competing with his governor. No, and I'm not one of those that I give my governor the due respect. State government, because the governor is a governor. We don't have two governors. That's a fact. This December I showed my courtesy as a leader of my state. And I've always, he will tell you, I've always extended my courtesies to him. So I think people walking around him are trying to make some of these things. I don't think it's the governor that is doing it. I think there are people around that are ambitious, that want to just prove a point or two, and we ought to let them know that it's not really necessary. Who suffers at the end? The constituents. I should be allowed to vote for my constituent. Thank you very much. The first one has to do with autonomy of the local government.
Yes.
The Supreme Court decision is clear. And, truly speaking, some of this intervention we are making is because of the weakness of the local government system. If the local governments were working efficiently, there will be less for us to do. And most of the legislators will focus more on lawmaking and oversight functions, majorly. But because there is a gap, that is where, as representatives at the federal level, we are standing up to see that our constituents, they are not allowed to suffer. It is the desire of this administration under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, UCFR, to see the local government breathe. During the National Caucus meeting of our party, and National Executive Council meeting of our party, he made it clear to the governors of the APC bloc that he is determined allowing the local governments to breathe the air of autonomy, especially financial autonomy. He was speaking to his party men and women, his own governors. He said he's watching and waiting for the governors to obey Supreme Court decision, which is part of our laws, and this, we talk about the sources of law for some of you who are lawyers, decided cases, which is known as stare decisis, become parts of our laws. And if the Constitutional Court of the land has taken a position on an issue, it should be recognized. At the constitutional amendment level, we are also fine-tuning that which will embolden the local government to be autonomous. I know the governors are talking about it. And I know the governors at the appropriate time will not be averse to it. Because it's not like the money leaving the state. It's the money that is going to be used to reduce the burden of the governors. The truth is that if 17 local government of Abia State receive their so-called 500 million or 600 million or whatever million they receive on a monthly basis, and use that money to focus on interventions affecting the communities under them, the governor of that state will have less to do. You focus on major landmark projects. He has the right as governor to say, you know what, this is your money, but the agenda of the state is in this direction. You anchor the one in Bende, you anchor the one in Isialamba, you anchor the one in we will monitor. We'll give you designs that will be used for it. We'll give you what we want to achieve. We'll monitor to make sure that you comply with that. If that is done, it's still the governor developing the states, but through the local government. For me, I don't see it as a problem. Unless there's any other ulterior motive. If the money is for developing them, then it makes sure, if you feel, you make sure that the local government manage it. If you feel that the local government chairmen are not well equipped for financial administration in terms of competence and efficiency, for me, I will surround those local government with experts that will guide them to build capacity so that they can. I will run trainings for those local government chairmen to increase their competence so that they can manage the resources coming to them. And I will monitor the execution, not by interrupting the autonomy, but by guiding. For example, the state want to have 17 hospitals in all the local government in Abia State. That is part of the project of the state. But when it comes to execution, you said the local government should, out of their budget, make sure that these things are achieved. So the local government will include it in their budget and you play a supervisory role. At the end of the day, you have 17 hospitals. The only difference is that the local government supervised the job and got it done, and you monitored from the state. So the 17 hospitals you wanted to give to the state will still be there. If you want to do 1,000 roads in a year, you divide. The state will do 1, 2, 3, 4. Local government, you are going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Shared across 17 local government. And the source of fund is your location. That way, they are impacting their unique needs. You are supervising and you are focusing on landmark legacies. That collaboration, in governance, I prefer collaboration. That collaboration between local government and state will enable you as governor to achieve more. So what you'll be doing most of the time is going to commission. Local government chairman will invite you as governor, you come and commission and praise the local. That's what is happening in Lagos State. They will do project and invite you, go and commission. You go and commission. So you commission projects around the state, you'll be busy. But the major one that they cannot handle, you handle it. And the same thing, that same collaboration goes between you and the federal. Just like the state invite the federal to come and commission. From the money given to them, we'll push them down to. And you know why this is important? If we have autonomy, there'll be a lot of jobs created. These youths who are going into vices will have something doing. Some of the youths who are recruited to open pseudo accounts on social media for insulting politicians and for propaganda will have better job to do. The youths of Abia State, Southeast and Nigeria, they are better off than sitting somewhere creating 100 pseudo accounts to attack opposition. They are better than that. And the only way you can engage them is by creating a platform that will engage them meaningfully. I don't think a meaningful engagement for our youth is giving one person 10 tablets and say, use it. Once they say hello to me, I say hello back by 10. If they say no to me, attack them by 20. You're underdeveloping the youth. And why? Because there is no platform created to engage the youth. By the time the local government start building cottage industries, repairing those, and those youths are bringing sand and stone, and they are learning bricklaying work, they are building hospitals, they are building schools. They don't have time to be on the internet looking for elders to insult. So at the end of the day, we create deviance when we hand over tablets to young people to sit at home, earn money at the end of the month based on how many insults they give to opposition. We are creating monsters, deviants that will end up fighting us later on. And that's the fact. These youths should pitch themselves and know that that will not last forever, and ask for their local government to begin to build structures that will accommodate them and that they can grow, that is sustainable. So this is what I have to say with regards to that. The second question was what again?
By speed.
Oh, by speed.
Not by speed. The president handing over power to an Igbo man.
I don't know what you mean by president handing over power to the woman. The president is a Democrat. President is a Democrat. President is not in the power of the president to hand over power to anybody. It's the Nigerians that decide who power goes to. And that is why I have always asked our people, the Igbo people, extend your handshake across the Niger. Embrace other sections of this country. Stop talking down on the Hausas and the Fulanis and the Yorubas and the Efiks and the Bibios. Stop talking down on people. The loudest on social media are the Igbos. And what are they saying? Insult, pulling down, castigating, fighting. It's not supposed to be so. We should embrace one another. We should relate with one another. We should partner with one another. That is what national cohesion is all about. And that is the truth. So I encourage, like now, the power is in the southern political corridor. The man who is in charge is from the southern political corridor. This is the time to solidify. This is the time to shake hands with the southwest family, so that when the time comes and we need a handshake, they will reciprocate. But if we stay here and throw stones from morning till night, they are watching. When it is your time, they will partner with those who have partnered with them. It's all about partnership. Who are we partnering with as Igbos now? Because the Igbos alone cannot make themselves president. Buhari tried it, bless his soul. He felt that the North can give him presidency. He tried so many times, he couldn't do it. It was when he shook hands across to another region, it was possible. Can we forget the past and begin to reach out? Can we embrace other parts politically? I'm not talking about business. Business, we do business with every part of Nigeria. We comes back and is done with his service, because we are all asking that the president comes back and finish what he has started, because he is doing well, globally acknowledged. The indices that are there, World Bank and all the global agencies, they know that we are It's tough, but we're marching towards the right direction. The foundation he has laid, we want him to finish it so that anybody coming aboard will carry it from there. And the person who is going to replace him will be decided by Nigerians. Having said that, the issue of PISP, many of you are not aware that after launching PISP, that a lot of negotiations and diplomatic engagements have been going on. If I ask you now, how many Operation Crocodile, Operation Lion, Operation Nkweke that led to shooting of people and killing of people around the southeast, how many has been happening after we launched PISP? We have gone on there through what we call the peace ambassadors to reach out to stakeholders, both in the military, both in the police, from the top echelon. We made the military go out preaching to the battalions and all their commands that non-kinetic approach is the best approach. We projected the non-kinetic approach. We said gun and bullets will not solve our problem. And it's all about sitting and talking. Let me also tell you, even those who are agitating, we reach out to them privately, not announcing it on the pages of newspaper, and showing them what alternative ways of getting what you're agitating for without burning police buildings, burning hospitals, burning how many burning has taken place in the recent past. So when you measure the outcome of what we have laid down, look at the question. Is South more peaceful now than it was before? And if you answer yes, then the work is going on and beyond the surface. If you answer that question no, then you're not being real. Look around Southeast. It's more peaceful. The peace in Southeast project is not a campaign project. It's not what you stand. It's not political. It's strategic. That is why people like National Security Advisor, NSA's office is involved. The DGDSS is involved. The IGP of police is involved. National Intelligence and Security is involved. It's not what you come and dance on podium. We have launched it, we want it to work. And all the stakeholders I mentioned to you are working with us. And Southeast is calmer than it used to be. And that is not to say it's only peace in Southeast that did it. No, the governors have also done a lot. So it's a synergy, like I've told you, collaboration. We've been, and the place is getting more calm, more calm, more calm. And that is it. What is the third question again? I think that's the last question. Beautiful, beautiful questions. Thank you for raising some of these issues. Yes. When I joined the parliament, one of the mentorship skills I acquired under my mentor, that everybody knows, that is Femi Gbajabiamila, was his love for parliamentary diplomacy. And while he was the speaker, he took me on his trips outside the country to witness firsthand the impact of parliamentary diplomacy. You may recall one of those times was when Nigerians living in Ghana were having problems with the citizens. It was tough. But when we flew into that country, through parliamentary diplomacy, engaging their parliaments and their stakeholders, were able to quench that fire and then restore the relationship to a healthy position between Nigeria and Ghana. And my eyes were open to seeing the world as a global community, where just being a parliamentarian in Nigeria is not enough. If you want to drive impact, you should not operate in isolation, but in collaboration. And so I was picked up to lead the second one in command, the Parliament of Nigeria, to the ECOWAS, where I chair the Committee on Finance and Budget. So every money that is spent by ECOWAS, I look at it from the Parliament, from the Parliament's perspective. What it does for Nigeria is it's one of the biggest countries in the ECOWAS. We know where our money is going, what we should spend on, are we wasting the money or not? And it gives us a little bit of control of the narratives across the various nations within the community, the ECOWAS community. And from there to the African Union. The African Union, I was elected to lead the delegation of Nigeria, both Senate and House. I'm leading the delegation to the, excuse me, to the Parliament of the African Union, known as Pan-African Parliament, PAP. And it sits in South Africa, Johannesburg, South Africa, Midrand, where I just left the office of being the chairman, budget and financial affairs. At the moment, I'm being called to run for the office of the second vice president of the Pan-African Parliament. They are lobbying me at the moment to stand in for that position. I'm yet to decide. Because of our contribution as a nation, the conversations around the African Union and the role we play within the African Union, being there helps the country showcase to the world, to the continent, what is happening in Nigeria, and also take feedback in a peer review mechanism, sense of it, what is happening in other parts of the continent to help us better what we are doing. Then if you go up, you get the Parliament of the World, known as the IPU, Interparliamentary Union. I am also the leader of delegation outside the Senate President. So I'm deputizing the leader of delegation. Interparliamentary Union is where all the parliaments of the world come to talk about issues affecting the world, United Nations resolutions, and all the rest of it. And it might interest you to know that there, one of the things that I've imparted out of Nigeria is to critique the post-conflict peace mechanism of the world when there is crisis. And that was one of the products of by speed that he asked. Peace in service. We projected that after conflict, the mechanisms in place to manage the peace achieved so weak, and that has given birth to more conflict. I used the example of the Southeast and the 3R. That mechanism that was not supported well, which now spiraled into agitation. I cited the Second World War, which was as a result of the mismanagement of the peace resolution, what was agreed. And I cited Sudan, because I was involved, I was one of those who raised the largest fund for Sudan Darfur crisis when I was in the UNHCR. So I knew what was happening in Sudan Darfur. I've also seen in the media space, people accusing leaders of our party that we are collecting people's PVC and name. Let me make this clear. For any nation to develop, data is key. Economic development usually is tied to number of persons who are from a particular geographical area. It helped the World Bank, it helped national governments to plan on adequate infrastructural development. I give you an example. The purpose of population census is to know how many people in a particular area, so that when you assign development indicators or infrastructures, it will not be less or more than required. If there are 5,000 people here and you are giving them an infrastructure meant for 20,000 people, it's a waste. If there are 5,000 people here, you're giving them a development that is meant for 3,000 people. It's not sufficient. And what has affected our nation, even in the elections, we don't know our number really. People come through the borders, and the next thing they are voting in Nigeria. The only way you can show that you're a Nigerian is to have our identity. Our identity is your civic right to have your identity. It's like that in other countries. I have my identity in all the countries I've lived. With that identity, I'll be identified. My family will be identified. If there's anything that happens, it will be easier to see me. But here in Nigeria, we have not taken it seriously. That's why this president insisted that the national identity management of this country should be taken seriously if we really want to have a serious economic planning. If we are planning for our people, not for outsiders. If we are planning to win with our available resources, it must be based on who are Nigerians. So, Mr. President insisted that charity must begin at home. If you want to be a member of APC, we don't want people from Panya. We don't want people from Niger. We don't want people from Cotonou and Togo or Cameroon being members of APC. That the condition to be a member of APC, one of the conditions is that you must have your national identity number. So that we know that Nigerians are the ones running the party. So that tomorrow we know that Nigerians are the ones who are members of APC. So we put that as one of our preconditions for the online registration that we are doing now. But we notice that there are challenges that Abia people have been having it difficult in having NIN. We notice that some are even being charged money to get NIN. And because they cannot afford it, our people are not being onboarded. And you know the danger of that is that the more we are outside the data box, the more the national planning will be against us. The more we on board, nobody will call us a dot, that we are small. It's been said all over that Igbos are small population, but you and I know that we are not small in population. What is the problem is that we are not registered. You say it doesn't concern us. It's politicians. They have started again. We will always generate one story or the other that will make our people under sentiment and emotion not register. And it is not going well for us. So what did we do as a party? We encourage the National Identity Management Commission to come to Abia to help. Bring in more machines, capture anybody, irrespective of the party you belong to. Be registered. But also our party members will benefit from it because we are doing online registration now. So if they come to us, we are former members, or this is our card, we say, where is your name? We say, we can't see the people doing the name. We say, okay, there's a machine here, there's a machine there. Go and do it so you can complete your form. How is that a problem? How is that a problem? People are now paid, content developers are now paid to develop content and start insulting the president, insulting the political office holders, including myself, calling us criminals for bringing free of charge what you were paying for to do before for you to be identified as a Nigerian. That's the primary thing. It ought not to be so. We are shortchanging ourselves if we fail to register with NIMC. If we fail to register for NIN, we will not be counted. So I want to push it out there that what the party is doing, just like every other party have done their registration exercise, we are doing registration exercise. And we're not buying anybody's voters register because there is no election tomorrow, for goodness sake. We're saying only Nigerians should be the members of our party. So when you share those narratives, please explain to them. Go and register, have your NIM. If you're a member of APC, we'll need that for our registration. If you're not a member of APC, keep it. You need it for your school, you need it for your work, you need it for your bank. And all we have done is to pay for them to come down here and help you. Nobody's charging anybody anything. So I needed to push this out there so that people will know how to correct those narratives, which are wrong narratives outside there. Thank you very much, and God bless you.